Welcome back to Group A of the Nations Cup, everybody. We have another best of 3 series in Group A, and it is Tomb of the Spider Queen, where we start off with things. Netherlands against Austria is today's match, and again we also have Hungary and Germany in the same group. Those two already played, and the Germans went for a bit of a speed run there, cementing again their position as the favorite in the group. We have 16 teams in the first group stage here for the European qualifier for the Nations Cup, and only the first 2 out of each group of 4 will advance to the next round. Now keep in mind that the entire event also culminates in an offline event in Berlin. So we're going to have 6 teams at the offline event in Berlin, 4 European teams, 1 North American team, and 1 team from the Asia server. And this is open to the public, so if you guys are interested in checking out the event, shaking hands with players and casters, you want to stop by, maybe spend the weekend in Berlin and combine it with a little bit of Heroes of the Storm, you're more than welcome. All of this is taking place at the Experian in Berlin at the Alexanderplatz, and as I already mentioned, the entrance is free. You can find more details if you're watching this on YouTube in the description. There's going to be multiple links that you can check out there, and it's going to be pretty awesome. June 11th and 10th is when the entire thing takes place, and I honestly can't wait. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be really, really great. And, well, now, I don't really know what to expect here. I would say, given the players that we have for the 2 teams, I would give the Netherlands the edge in this particular showdown. At the end of the day, the Austrians are just the German B team, so that's what we have there. We could always take them back, you know, it's always a little bit of a battle. Do we want the Austrians back, or do we just give them Bavaria? It's a question of beer at the end of the day. That's the main reason why we keep the Bavarians around, but they all talk funny. That's true for the Austrians, that's true for the Bavarians, so at some point we might give them Bavaria, but then again we need to probably get our beer from a different source, so we'll see. At the end of the day we can always take them back if we want them, but yeah. All dumb jokes aside, so the fish with Uther. There we go. We got Kerrigan and we get Uther. So the main tank Uther once more for the fish. Yeah, he loves that pick. He absolutely does. Yeah, it was actually kind of funny because I went to a friend's wedding in Slovakia over the weekend, and it's pretty difficult actually to go there. There was no direct flight to Bratislava, for example, so I had to fly into Vienna first and then make my way over with a bus and train to Bratislava. And the entire time, the Austrians... I spent actually 3 months in Vienna when I was younger, and yeah, you get used to the dialect at some point. But it's still wild. It's absolutely wild. So yeah, it was kind of amusing. The cool thing was honestly that having some proper Northern European or Northern Eastern European food was just fantastic. Some proper goulash, venison goulash, and knödel. Oh my god, something that you just don't get here in Spain. And seems a little bit silly, but it was beautiful. Now, with game number 1 here in mind, we have Mephisto and Joanna taken. So the combo between Blaze and Jojo is obviously always a good one and a strong one. I like that quite a lot because there's a very strong front defense that you have where you can play through all of that. Just breaking through Jojo and Blaze is not really all that easy. You have multiple layers of defense there. Not only you speak of the one gun. Oh ho ho ho! The Austrians! Look at that! Yeah, apparently they have been looking a little bit too deep into the bottle here because they are already missing their next ban. Whew, that's not a good start, boys. Or they're going to try and show dominance here, saying like, we don't even need bans against you guys. Now I want to highlight again that there's also a slight rule change when it comes to picks and bans. We're not going full meta madness with this, but you can only play a hero once within a series. It's a little bit of a compromise to make it more interesting also for the audience. It's supposed to be a bit more of a lighthearted event as well, while at the same time not forcing teams completely to think outside of the box as meta madness does, for example. So just a slight change. Make sure you don't have to watch the same heroes every single game, but keep that a bit in mind as we continue through all of this. We get Cassia and we get Deckard Cain here in Tomb of Spider Queen, and Jaina for Mindhunter. I mean, Kerrigan and Jaina, great comp for them. And of course, Uther doubling as the main tank, as already explained previously. It's a hobby horse of fish to play that. And with that, the stage is set. Game number 1. The Case Cup against the Austrians. Let's go, everybody. First game between the two teams here at Group A of the Nations Cup. Off we go. Game number 1. The Netherlands on the left with Fish on Uther. Mind Talk on Carrigan. We got Uki on Leoric. Meat Bicycle is playing Alexstrasza. And Hiago on Jaina for the burst damage after all of these stuns and slows that are going to be set up by the rest of the team. On the right side of the map, though, the Austrians with Fropsy on Joanna. We got Musteka on Mephisto. Edelchris on Cassia. Crayon on Deckard Cain. That's actually a really funny name because I can totally see Deckard Cain being like completely senile in a corner playing with crayons. I mean, absolutely. And Samu Plays is playing Blaze. Alright, party time. A little bit of stacking going on here, not only for Alexstrasza on her level 1, but we also have Cassia committing to the stacks with her level 1 Lightning Fury build. Carrigan, she is going to be a bit wild here. I mean, Mind Talk and Fish, they've been playing together for a long time. There's a lot of these guys that have, of course, a lot of experience playing with each other. And once that you are good, well coordinated around these stuns, you can really do a number on your opponent. It's going to be up to Jaina to come in with the damage, but I expect clean comps from Fish and Mind Talk as they are trying to lock somebody down and kill them quickly. So, yeah, time will tell. I explained before that in the group itself, Germany is clearly the favorite. Obviously, since we have 16 countries being represented here in the first group stage, there's going to be a lot of difference in skill between the teams. And as with any tournament worth its salt, there has been some pre-seeding so that the top teams are split across the groups and don't all face off against each other in the first part of the group stage here. But it will be very, very interesting to see how the rest of the group is shaping up, because while there could be a couple of upsets that maybe dethrone the Germans, there's also a very big question, who else is going to make the big plays for a potential number 1 or number 2 spot within that group and to qualify for the next round of the tournament. So time will tell who can make it. But right now, the Netherlands going up against Austria in an attempt to already set themselves up for a good position within that group. Now, stuns are happening, and this is exactly what we mentioned earlier, but a nice iron shield thingy skin from Jojo, as she's able to get out of the fight. If those slows would have kicked in from Jaina, that might have just been the end of her. But, well, off we go. We have the Austrians starting to fight back immediately, so nobody has been able to get a kill yet. Level 4 talents are kicking in for both of the teams. We get the Ruby for Deckard Cain, for our Crayon boy. And with Alexstrasza, the party continues with the heat exhaustion over here. I can totally understand that, by the way, because in Spain it's already heating up pretty quickly. So yeah, weather is absolutely stunning over here. How to turn the AC on today. It's sunny outside. No clouds in the sky. It's really nice. The only thing that reminds me a little bit of the Netherlands is that it's quite windy over here. So yeah, the Netherlands, the country of cheese, tulips, and a lot of wind, which incidentally also produces a lot of very strong cyclists. But yeah, either way, we apparently also have a couple of good Heroes of the Storm players over there, because that's a quick kill on Cassia, as the Austrians are the first ones to lose a hero. So, yep, she's gone. Cassia is down, and that allows them to control this rotation even more. We have them with a few gems turned in already. And with that, they might even be getting a bit closer to turn in number 1. Yeah, nice. Swing and drain. So for all the newbie Leoric players out there, if they still exist, always go for the swing first and then drain the slow target. That's exactly what he did there. So a little bit of free damage against Blaze. No cost for himself. So now we are looking at 12 stacks already for Alexstrasza. Yeah, she is just going to murder it on these globes. I mean, 13 already. Tomb of Spider Queen is such a fantastic map for that skill, because if you dominate that rotation between lanes, you will complete that talent in absolutely no time. If anything, I'm a little bit surprised that we don't get even more aggression from the blue team, considering that with Mind Talk on Carrigan, you normally get a lot lot of very, very aggressive dives and stun attempts. But they're not doing anything there just yet, just slowly playing around the turn. And there it is again, the aggression, and it results in a dead Jojo. It might even lead to a dead Deckard Cain. Yep, and he is dead too. Now, thankfully for them, they at least recover their gems, but boy, oh boy, are they paying a price for this. 3 kills to 0, a level behind, and Leo absolutely unmolested at the bot lane as Blaze has to retreat to replenish hit points and mana, which allows Leo to turn in, Web Weavers to descend, wall already gone, top side damage has been done. This is great news for the team from the Netherlands here. Yeah, they are doing a great job. The Oranias in blue are starting to put down the hammer here. They're going for another kill. And it seems like Mephisto isn't going to make it. So Frosby recovers the gems. Good for him. I think they could have shielded that a little bit better there if they really wanted to, but it allows them to push in the Web Weaver a bit faster. Minddog gets attacked and immediately tries to turn it around, which pushes Jojo back, so they're having some real trouble. Bot lane, mid lane, both getting attacked massively as Cassia deals with the middle of the map. Bot lane and top lane are getting heavily attacked here. Now that level 10 is available, things of course are only going to get worse for the Austrians. So this 4 kills to 0. Divine Shield is now ready, and Kerrigan can totally pop off once she gets that, if she even needs it. Ring and a triple connect! Oh, what a comp! And what a set of kills! That was beautiful! Nicely done. What a fantastic combo and a triple kill for the blue team. And you know what? We're going to take another look at that. That one was sexy. So Ring comes out, connects with 3, Kerrigan follows up, and then they drop the half the team there. So very well played by the team from the Netherlands. And that, of course, puts them firmly in the driver's seat for game number 1 of this best of 3 series here. The turn-in is about to happen again. They got plenty of gems. They took tons and tons away from the opponent's team already, which results currently in a situation where the Austrians can't even complete their turn-in if they wanted to. You got the blue team, though, with plenty of gems to make it happen, and that's exactly what's going on here. Since there's no level 10 available for the Austrians, they couldn't even try and contest this. So now another set of Web Weavers is going to touch ground and help them to destroy even more forts. So topside fort is gone. One in the middle of the map also about to be eliminated, and with Leo doing such a great job pushing the bot lane out, I don't think that one has a chance either. So this is all about damage control right now for the Austrian team. Web Weavers are in, and keep Blaze in mind. I mean, Blaze is on 40 gems. If they get him, that would be an utter disaster. But they're trying to make the play for Kerrigan. Here comes the Divine Shield. Ring, ding, and death. That's the end of Cassia, and they're following it up on even more of them. They're trying to go for Mephisto. Just look at the Entomb there. Beautiful hit, but not maybe the kill that they're looking for. Blaze barely gets out. Bit of a drain. They could go for Jojo, but none of the kills come through. They are destroying all of the forts on the other hand. So forts are destroyed, more damage against Mephisto. Topside is also pushing. The entire wall here has been destroyed by the Web Weaver, and now level 13 talents are available for the blue team. So looking really strong. Making it also incredibly difficult to stack for a lot of the players on the red team side. Cassia is a good example of this. We're already 8 minutes into the game. She only has 25 stacks, not a lot to brag about. So another hit, another kill, Mephisto. Mephisto down. They go for another one, and here's the second Entomb. Bam, down they go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let the bodies hit the floor, baby. All of them eliminated. Well, not quite all of them. 2 made it out. Pretty respectable, actually, in the case of Deckard Cain. I already counted him among the dead, but he was able to survive. Not a single kill, though, for the red team. They didn't get a single kill yet. It's 11 kills to 0. We are 8-9 minutes into the game, and the first keep has now just been destroyed. So that's the end of the keep, and well, it might be the end of the hopes and dreams of the Austrian team to win game number 1. Now, they at least have enough gems still for a turn-in. They hold 59, they need 50. Problem for them is that the Netherlands are also getting a little bit closer to get a third turn-in, and they're not letting up on this. They have a massive stats advantage already with level 15 on the board. This is 3-level lead. Another Ring of Frost. They're trying for the damage. Old man telling stories again and putting everybody to sleep here. And barely saving Jojo, but the shit is about to hit the fan here as they're getting pushed back again. Bunker already dropped. Uther rushing away. The main tank for the team doing his job. They're sieging up on the mid keep this time. And they're closing in on level 16, which would grant them another talent advantage over the opponent. They would be 2 talents ahead. A 2-talent lead is definitely in the cards for them right now. And this is getting insane. They're really struggling here. One more kill, all that's needed to destroy another lane completely. More gems being harvested from the blue team. They're looking at 57 now. They can turn in a few more seconds. They need to be careful though. They don't want to lose Uki, for example. Another hit and a kill. Jojo down. 59 gems on Blaze and he gets out. Gets drained, dies, but at least the gems will be recovered. Or will they? Well, maybe not all of them. They lost gems. They don't even have enough for a turn-in. The middle keep, it's still in play. 14 kills to 0, and they are starting to focus on the core instead. The shield is about to be gone, and with the double talent advantage that they're running right now, the Netherlands are going for a quickie here. 10 minutes in, they're looking at another kill, and they're also eliminating the core at the same time. Clean game from the blue team. Incredibly clean game. Not a single death as they ended. GG, well played. What a statement by the Netherlands.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Well, game number 2, everybody. Netherlands against Austria. It's going to be a fast draft because towards the end of the draft, the blue team kind of forgot that you cannot play the same heroes twice, so they picked Jojo, which they weren't allowed to do. Apparently it was an accidental pick, they wanted to go for Imperius, but that's why we're very likely gonna see a pretty quick draft here. And considering that this is taking a long time, I think the Austrians just remembered that they forgot what they banned. Yeah, they started with the MIF ban, so teams are trying to remember what's going on. There's one rule here, and that rule, as explained in game number 1, is that you can't pick the same heroes again that have already been played within a series, making things a little bit more interesting. It's not quite meta madness, but it still ensures that we're not seeing the same picks over and over again, and it's a nice, neat little compromise here. So, yeah, just as a bit of a reminder. Hogger as a first pick, obviously solid. The problem for the Austrians is not only that they are 0-1, but also that the Netherlands played a perfect game on Tomb of the Spider Queen. They didn't lose a hero, they didn't lose a structure, they absolutely crushed it in record time as well. So off we go as everybody is just slowly going for the picks here. You might have, by the way, noticed that Blaze is also banned and he was played on the previous map. So that's where the Austrians initially were the ones that kind of forget about the rule set. And funnily enough, it was the main tank player of the Netherlands that reminded them in the chat and said like, boys, you know the rules, right? Like, you don't have to ban Blaze, you can't play him anymore. And then they locked in Jojo a few seconds later. So this is pretty much where we left off. Now the next double pick is happening where Imperius and Gul'dan now get locked in, and from here on out we are entering new territory. Vala, obviously, with a good multi-shot build, can be extremely strong here. Not only do you do damage on the shrine against your opponent's team, but also towards the objective you can get a few more hits in. With the Haka you have even more AoE damage. Gul'dan, a lot of CC that they again bring to the table here. Imperius, Gul'dan with a Horrify, you have Brightwing, the Haka. So they're really playing with the CC, trying to pressure the Austrians. And we get Medivh and Stitcher, so a bit of a kidnap combo that we are seeing here. So you could go Hook, Gorge into a portal and try to escort the target out. I'm still lacking support that can provide a stun though. So that would have been Tyrande, Malfurion, something along those lines. Rhaegar, okay, if he goes into his totem build, then especially after level 16, he can really screw with them a bit on that count. But yeah. Last pick, Mind Talk again. We have a Nubarak this time, and that sets us up for game number 2. So let's go, everybody. Let's see who takes it here. The Netherlands in the lead against Austria in Group A of the Nations Cup. Let's see if the blue team can make this a 2-0 victory, or if the Austrians are now slowly fighting back. I don't know, what do you think? Ah, well, we'll see. I'm not calling it just yet, but yeah. Game number 2, everyone. Let's go. Game number 2, Infernal Shrines, and on the left in blue, the Netherlands, with Mind Talk on Imperius. Meet a Bicycle is playing Brightwing. We have the Fish on the Nubrak, Uki on the Haka, and Hiago is playing Gul'dan. To the right side of the map, it is the Austrian team with Fropsy on Stitches, Edelchris on Medivh, Samu plays on Hogger, Crayon on Rega, and Musteka is playing Vala. Alright, time to shine. Time to show us what they got, especially Medivh. I want to see some stacks, baby. And talking about stacks, we have Vala with an auto attack build. Alright. So again, we had to draft twice, and the first time that we were in the draft, I was actually talking about the different options of Vala a little bit, and also saying that she can, of course, go into an auto attack build too. That I was expecting a multi-shot build simply because the map really caters towards it, and it's one of the more popular builds here. Normally when you go into an auto attack style, what you try to do is you want to have a second support, and I guess Medivh more or less fits that build, but they really have to on point in order to keep Vala alive. Now, there's obviously on the theory craft level the argument that there's a lot of melees on the other side. You have 3 in total, plenty of opportunities for her to stack, but also plenty of targets that she would be able to hit with the multi-shot build. If you are going into this particular style, you need to make sure that you don't die. You don't want to lose those gambit stacks, and with all of the CC that we now have for the Netherlands, oof, that could get a little bit dicey. That could really get a bit difficult. If they can keep her alive or not, different question, we'll see. Portals have to be on point, shields have to be on point, maybe an occasional helping hand. But if she is able to stack properly and get to level 16, then we could see Vala absolutely murder. But this is more of a late game argument than anything else. But just imagine her with solid stacks, Manticore, maybe even on 20, then the Farflight Quiver, and all of a sudden you could rip that front line to shreds. They gotta get to that point though, and that's the big question mark here. Gul'dan with the Saki build. Nice hook. Nice. Not of any consequence, but still nice. So yeah, Saki build for him, Chaotic Energy. Let's see if he follows through with all of that. We have a bit of an adjustment on the side of Brightwing with the Pixie Charm here. Top side, already slight moves being made. Death Dealer is now in on level 4 for Vala. They're fighting all over the camp down at the bottom of the map. For Vala, the good news is that she's going to be able to get some extra hits in, and sits at 15 stacks already. But they have to give up on the camp. And Vala is still getting hits in. Now, as long as she gets those hits, it's fine if they have to give up a bit of ground in the early game. Just don't die. The problem is oftentimes that you're always tempted to just go too deep, but this auto attack speed is super important once you hit 16 and get Manticore access, because it means you can melt frontliners away very quickly. I'm just worried for her because there's going to be so much dive. And Medivh, of course, has now 2 goals. He wants to keep himself alive so that he can complete his quest. And at the same time, he is going to try and assist Vala and hold his cooldowns back so she doesn't die. This is a very aggressive rotation, and I really like it because it just hits the red team where they don't expect it at all. And now they can even try and flank in a little bit. So this is a bit of a weird one. Very interesting situation to be in from the perspective of the Austrians. So the Netherlands with an aggressive move towards the camp, which already puts pressure onto the top lane. So yeah, very, very annoying. Not only do you not get to use your own camp, but your opponent is also capitalizing on the camp claimed and can push this wall a bit. Now, the shrine is already active, so it's not going to be that big of a deal, but I like moves like this. So they were very aggressive on this one. Now, same point, we have now Vala on 22 stacks. A little bit closer on all of this, already rushing around with the Death Dealer here, going for level 7. Bit of a talent advantage for them that gives us the Hot Pursuit, so nice talent for her to have for repositioning. Nice stuns, and the follow-up is there, and that's the problem. Yep, all of them engage, all of those stuns, and Medivh makes it out. Rega is dead. He can die, that's fine. We just need to make sure that Vala is alive, and also that Medivh doesn't die. The two of them need to try and get out of this one. Another stun, and yep, that's the end of the stack. stacks for Medivh, and I really think that it wasn't needed for him to go back out there. He exposed himself to the damage output of Gul'dan, and that didn't end well, as you can tell. So Vala is still up top side, still a bit low, 35 stacks for her. Still trying to play this one out easily, but if she goes too deep, then Fish is going to engage and try and get the hits in. So yeah, starting to get a bit difficult for them to win objective number 1, aka impossible, because it's 37 already on the counter for the blue team. The Netherlands, they are hoping, of course, for a 2-0. As I explained a bit earlier, this is still a round-robin group stage. We have 4 teams in each group, 16 teams in total for the European qualifier. And if you are able to win your first few matches with a 2-0, that's always nice for the scoreboard. You want to make sure that you're not ending up in any tiebreaker situations. So not losing out on a single map is kind of important here. And Noob is a bit deep, but is doing well. Vala gets out, so at least nothing lost on her end. She's nearly done with the first quest reward, 47 stacks, but with them being pressured back this heavily, they're now losing the topside fort, and they're also up against an opponent that has now level 10 abilities. Yeah, it's tricky. Very tricky. The hook only pushing him into the wall. Vala baiting over, and there's the portal, and she still dies. She completes one of her quest rewards, but she also loses one of the stacks. So that is bad news. Horrify being used. Oi, 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 oi. And he barely makes it. Yeah, that could have been much, much worse. But it's already bad enough as is, because as you can tell, the Netherlands, they don't even have 5 players here. They're pushing with 4, and the objective plus a camp, they lined it up all perfectly, and it results in a 6-minute keep. 6 minutes into the game, and they take the keep down. Damn. Yeah, that is rough. The Austrians, I mean, people are always complaining and saying they're just budget Germans, and now they're playing like them too, so that's a little bit rough. Gonna get a lot of hate for that, by the way. 4 kills to 0, but yeah, let's see if they can somehow bring this around. The Netherlands, on the other hand, I mean, this is a strong team. Obviously, if you follow the European scene a lot, then you recognize a lot of the players from plenty of teams that participated in tournaments here. And we'll see how far they can go in the tournament, but they're making a very, very strong case to make it out of the group and to the next one. So, to the next stage of the tournament. So, we'll see. Either way, for now we got 12 stacks back on Medivh. And let's just be honest, there's level 10 finally on the board, so maybe they can now make a bit of a move here. Nice and on-point Ancestral, at least by Rhaegar. So good job by Crayon, as he's keeping Vala alive. Nicely done from him. Same time now though, Stitches gets a bit isolated and a bit killed. Yeah, and the stacks are lost again for Medivh. 7 kills to 0. Whew. They are absolutely getting murdered here. The Netherlands are on a tear. Call them Bolakers, they are on a roll. Damn, these guys, they mean business. They have level 13, a 2-level advantage. They've now done tons and tons of damage to structures at the top lane, aka all the damage with the exception of the core, and immediately focus on the rest of the lanes. Considering that the next objective is spawning in the middle of the map, I'm pretty sure that we're gonna get another attempt to make the big play here. They're even attempting to steal the camp away once more. They do, and now they got them in a choke point. It's a 5 versus 4, and here comes the Gorge, and Nubarak isn't here yet. Minotaur, can he survive? Pops the ult immediately, but gets taken out, and finally a kill for the red team. They're looking for follow-up, but instead it's Medivh that dies. Loses his stacks again, the Cocoon, to force the engage. Vala is also down, loses another Gambit stack, and I guess this is going to be the end of Rhaegar. He gets crushed, and that is, of course, now 11 kills to 1, leaving only Stitches on the map. And it's going to result in an eliminated fort in the middle of the map. Brutal takedown here in game number 2. But at least a kill for the Austrian team. I mean, that's worth a round of applause. So, they got a kill. Denied the perfect game. The Haka is now down at the bottom of the map. And he's been just jumping from lane to lane. You can see it here in the experience lead. I mean, just look at what he's brought to the table. We have around 13,000 XP. When it comes to minion experience, the blue team has taken a significant lead with over 2,000 additional experience gathered. But mercenary experience is probably your biggest difference between the two of them outside of hero experience. It's a single camp that the Austrians got. Actually, I think they might have been able to get 2. Nah, should be just 1. So, yeah, Rhaegar in trouble, and the Ancestral just came in too late, so he's dead. Horrify and Cocoon both used as they're looking for additional kills. Level 16 is going to be there in a jiffy, and with Rhaegar dying, they are going to get that big lead. The isolation attempt against Dehaka is not going to help them. He's probably going to turn it around, misses the lick though. But it's Medivh that dies again, and this is going to be a 5-man wipe as Vala dies too. 5-man team wipe. And seems like Dehaka is trying to convince the team that they can go for the core, but I'm not so sure about this. The problem that they're facing off against is the length of the death timer. We're only 10 minutes into the game, so death timers are very, very short. And if you're getting then all of a sudden wiped at the core because you overestimated your ability to take the main structure down and win the game, and your opponent might just close the experience gap and bring it back. So instead they're breaking through the middle, they lock in the objective, which in this case is a frozen Punisher, and that now should help them to go for that core attempt that they were looking at. So let's just have a look. Starting to move in here, bam, another kill. Hogger is down, Hogger dead, so is the keep. And now the play for game as we have the Netherlands looking at a potential 2-0 victory. I guess we can't scratch the potential at this point, but Brightwing died, so they got a kill. Brightwing is dead, and without the healer, you know, maybe they got a chance here. The core is obviously losing hit points and losing hit points fast. We have Medivh and Vala still alive. Well, scratch that. Medivh is dead, but so is Anubrak. So with the Frozen Punisher still soaking a lot of the damage and Cam's doing the work. The Catapult's still absolutely griefing behind the Cam, but either way, this is game a 2-0 victory as the Netherlands win the best-of-3 series here in Group A of the Nations Cup.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.